I'll have to look at it again. I think he's trying to give a great effort, trying to lay out the score. I think the ball slipped out of his hands. If he had scored, we'd have felt pretty good. But unfortunately, after that play, the next time we got the ball, we're down 28-10. We're going in to make a 17-14 Raiders. So that was a big play in the game, and defensively, we gave up a big play at the end of the first half and a big play to start the third quarter. And we can't play like that. Just can't do it. Credit to them.
Do you think when he gets in a role like that, then he's going to just start thinking too much?
I don't know about all that. I don't get into the philosophy of everything. Carr was rolling. We were rolling offensively today. It was an offensive game. We just had a couple turnovers, and they finished some drives. And the referees, I wasn't happy with some of the calls, obviously.
How was, from what you said, how was Aaron Rodgers able to do what he did against the defense to get us some big plays?
I mean, he's one of the best of all time. Made a couple great audibles, made a couple great throws. Tough as hell. I mean, we hit him a few times. It didn't bother him one bit. They're missing Devontae Adams. We're missing players. But he just did a great job. And we got to play better defensively. There's no excuse for giving up long plays like that.
You got your tight ends in the mix a lot. Did you see some matchups that you really like?
We like all our receivers. We thought we moved the ball today very well. And I think we had one drive. We might have scored. I think we scored 3 times on one drive. Waller, I think, as I've said before, I think he's the best tight end there is. So we're going to try and throw it to him, and I'll try to get our receivers involved. Hopefully we get some healthy guys back next week.
Did you want to challenge something on that Rodgers throw?
I want to challenge a lot of things, but I'm not going to get into that anymore. No, I'm done. Any other questions about the game? I made an emotional mistake on that. I'm sure it'll be,
On the big plays you mentioned, giving up the big plays, is that miscommunication on defense or just bad matchups? What did you see in terms of the defense while they were there?
I'm not going to comment on that right now. I'll just say it's a combination of Rodgers making great plays. We got to do a better job coaching, playing, and that we will do.
You've been outspoken about Alec Ingold, how you love him. What's it like for him to come back?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I was really proud of he and Trevor Davis. They came back and did a good job today. I was proud of them both. They got a big upsides, and they're helping us right now, and it's credit to them.
About him coming back to the area, though.
Yeah, I'm back in the area too, so it's great to be back in the area. I wish I felt better right now. I'd give you some more material. I don't have much. I'm kind of numb. But he's a great kid. We're happy to have him.
John, when it comes to Derek's fumble through the end zone, obviously he's trying to make a play, but how fine is that line between trying to make a play and realizing the situation? You're still there on the 1-yard line. You still got a couple plays to go.
Yeah, it was a fine line. It was a fine line. I compliment his effort. I think the ball slipped out of his hands, and, it was a big play in the game.
You guys all good?
Yep. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
to get Gabe back, man, it was awesome, man. I think shout out to the offensive line. You know, Trent went down. Davis Sharp, who has had some better days, you know, had some harder days early on in his career, has kept fighting, has kept trying to be a better player, and came out today and played great. You know, so I got to give credit to all of those guys, to have them all back, to have them all playing the way that they did. I thought they did an outstanding job. I think everyone would agree with that. You know, those guys, you know, are doing a great job. Coach Cable and Lim are doing a great job, you know, preparing those guys, all of them, you know, just in case, because we still didn't know if Trent was going to play. You know, he practiced a little bit this week, so we didn't know. And David and Brandon, they were rolling in there, you know, so we didn't know what was going on. But for them to come out with Gabe back and all that, having that continuity, having that. I mean, there was a few plays that happened just by playing with each other so much, me, Rodney, Gabe, where we broke the huddle. He looked at me. I said, yes, it is. Like, we were able to check to a play, actually get a scoring touchdown before anyone even knew what was going on. You know what I mean? But just having that continuity again, we can see things that we've seen before, and it's nice.
On the fumble.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind? At what point were you thinking about the Dallas game or deja vu maybe?
As soon as after it happened, right? You know, it's so. I told you, everyone's patting me on the head on the sideline like you're just trying to make a play, and I understand because like the ending of it is a fumble. It's their ball. Like it sucks, you know. But in that moment, I was telling you, it's so hard where you're like right there, and you're playing a tough team, you know, where you're going to need all the points you can get. It's like, man, it's so hard not to try, you know. Like that's everything I've ever been about in my life is to try. You know, maybe I got to go with two hands, right? You know, trying to extend with one hand isn't smart. That was stupid. You know, but at the end of the day, like, it's really hard in that situation as you're running. Like, I'm not thinking about anything else, but, oh, man, I can get in, right? But it sucks, man. You know, it's my fault. I let my team down on that.
Did it have a feel of a kind of a shootout game that you guys were going to have to steadily score points and not capitalizing on red zone attempts like you guys have been in recent weeks?
Yeah, we knew. We loved obviously we loved the plan coming in. You know, we knew it was going to – anytime you're playing the Packers, you know, you look back the past 50 years, they score a lot of points, right? And so, especially in Lambeau, you know it's going to be tough. This defense that they have is ridiculous, you know. We knew it was going to be tough to move the ball and things like that, but we were able to run it. We were able to throw it both really efficiently and well. But when we got inside the 5 is where we kind of let it go, you know. Turning the ball over down there. I'm more so talking about the fumble. The interception at the end is just me just trying to get some points on the board, right? Trying to get the points back. Not typically a ball I'd throw, but again, give 31 credit. He was covering Foster. I threw it and he fell off onto the other guy. And stuff happens. But at the end of the day, we got to finish, man. Finish those drives. Just like I talked about, what game was that a couple weeks ago? When we get down there, we got to finish those drives. We were doing a great job on third down. That's tough. Third down against this defense is one of the hardest things in pro football. And we did a good job on third down. But finishing in the red zone, clearly the point of emphasis for us this week.
I think after the Dallas game a couple years ago, you said that you would make the same play again.
I'm mad that I'm glad you remembered. I mean, gosh dang. I mean, no, because you don't want to fumble, right? Like, again, people. It's so tough just as a competitor in that spot. Like, oh yeah, I'll just run out at the 2. So I'll just run out at the 1. Like, hindsight, it's one of those plays where you look back. If you score, everyone's high-fiving you. You fumble the ball, everyone's like, do it better. It's like, I understand. I messed up. I dropped the ball, right? But I go with 2 hands next time. I gotta practice that. I gotta get better at that for sure. And that's completely my fault.
You guys were down a bunch of wideouts again, and you found a way to keep moving the ball. What does it say about the healthy guys that were able to play? Some guys you haven't really worked with very much.
Yeah, you gotta give a lot of credit to our coaching staff. The way Coach Gruden puts a game plan together, puts those guys in confident spots to make plays. Right. I can't say enough about what Coach has done, and EB and Nick, Coach Olson, Johnny Moe, what they've done, as an offensive staff, Kirby, Frank, they work so hard, man, and they do a great job of putting a plan together where guys are doing things they're really good at, right? We saw late. I mean, we saw, Keelan Doss have a 31-yard gain on a, in route on third down. In training camp, we didn't know that Keelan Doss was going to be our main target on a third down in Green Bay. We didn't know, Marcel was going to be someone we threw a go ball to on one of the better corners in the league, right? We didn't know that stuff was going to happen, but these guys, those players work their tails off in practice to where you're like, man, there's something special. They got some special abilities to them, and the way they compete in practice and the way that they compete in these games, you just gain confidence. The main takeaway for us was obviously we got to do better in the red zone, finish our deal, but our confidence that we have as an offense is really high. No one thought we'd move the ball the last 3 games we've played, and coaches have done a great job with scheme. Obviously, with players out and all that, I'm considering no one thought we would, but we've been able to do some really good things. But we only won 2 of those games, so we got to be better, going in on the road again this week.
With one left in the stretch, has it seemed longer than it actually was?
Yeah.
She talked about the stretch with one left in this. Everyone talked about the 5 games,
Yeah.
not being home. You have one left, obviously that would be huge to get that to go back home with that kind of support.
It's felt like I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? Traveling. It's a long. That's crazy. It's kind of unheard of, right? But it's nice to know, even though we shot ourselves in the foot today, that we're in an all right position to make a run coming with a whole bunch of home games, right? We need Raider Nation to be loud, to be aggressive, to be there. After we get back from this last game, because we can put ourselves in a position to make a run with a lot of home games. We can look at it one of 2 ways, like, we've been on. I'm looking at it, man, we get a lot of home games down the stretch, right? And I'm excited about that. I am tired of traveling, but we'll do it one more time. We'll grit it out and hopefully come back home with a win.
As far as taking out of a hole, I couldn't imagine what it was like to be all of a sudden down 18 and then before you could even get your hands back on the ball in the second half.
Yeah, that's tough. But the way we were able to move the ball, we were very confident. It wasn't like, I've been in some games where it's hard to get a first down, schematically or whatever the case is. It's just tough, And this wasn't one of those cases. So we knew what the points were. We've come from behind plenty of times. Had to do it against Chicago. Shot ourselves in the foot there. Had to do it then. So we were very confident. It wasn't like a cloud over our head kind of feeling, but very confident in what we had and what we can do. But it's tough, especially here against this opponent.
That confidence, how much of that is tied to your tight ends and matchup problems that they create?
Oh yeah, huge, right? Like I talk about, all 3 of them can do everything. Usually, you've seen, we get a group of guys that he can do this well, he does this well, and we kind of have to, move them around. We get one where Waller literally takes every rep in practice. He takes every rep in the game. He's like, he needed a break, right? He has to come out for one play, and we go straight to a play designed for Waller, which Derek didn't run during practice. He runs the little corner stop route. We hit him for a big play, right? Like, those guys can just plug and play them wherever they need to be. I'm checking protections with Waller in, with Foster in, with Derek in. The touchdown to Foster is a hand signal. We've never done it with 3 tight ends. But coaches, we drill those hand signals for everybody. We put the fullbacks out there and practice all these kind of things, right? We've never done it with 3 tight ends. They all did exactly what they're supposed to do, and Foster scores like that. Like that's how much confidence. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to explain where I can hand signal something that they've not all done at once, and we can execute it.
How confident are you in Josh Jacobs too? We always ask you that.
I'm sorry. What was the first thing?
How confident are you in Josh Jacobs too?
Yeah.
He's just keeping plays.
Yeah, absolutely. The guy's a stud. He's one of the best backs in the NFL. He's a rookie, so they'll give him a year or 2 before they say it. But he's talent-wise, he's one of the best running backs in the NFL. Can do everything. There's a theme there with the kind of guys Coach Gruden and Mr. Mayhawk are bringing in, right? If you're going to be a skill position player here, you got to be able to do everything. You got to run, block, and catch the ball. And he does all of those really well, and he wants to do all of those really well, which I think is better than just having a talented guy that can do it. You have a whole bunch of guys that want to do it.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys. I don't know whose is whose, but.